Well, a Russian national has been charged by the U.S. Department of Justice for an election interference, not just in the 2016 election cycle, but also in 2018. Elena Alexeyevna Kusyanova of St. Petersburg, Russia, allegedly served as the chief accountant for an operation known as Project Latkia, according to the Department of Justice. This from a Bloomberg exclusive by Chris Strom. We should also note that this also comes just 2.5 weeks before the midterm elections, in which state as well as federal law officials are working to make sure that U.S. election systems are better protected ahead of these midterms. It also comes as tech companies are also trying to bolster their securities. Clearly, with this new DOJ charges against these Russian officials, it shows that there have been attempts that the U.S. officials have been able to thwart off.
Yeah, and I'm just reading the story here, Chris's story, and the effort apparently included the creation of thousands of social media and email accounts that appear to be run by U.S. people, U.S. persons, or part of what the alleged conspirators referred to as information warfare against the U.S. Now, just to be clear here, Kevin, does this have anything to do with Robert Mueller's investigation at all of Russian meddling in our elections?
Topically, yes. Specifically, no. Bob Mueller's investigation looking into election interference in the 2016 presidential cycle, a separate type of investigation that we have not seen any conclusive results from. That said, topically, in terms of election interference by foreign nationals, is something that obviously has come up in the Mueller probe. What's interesting here is that if you look at what the intelligence community has put out within the last year or so, the type of interference that has occurred, both from a specific infiltration perspective as well as in terms of a propaganda perspective, this matches with that. In terms of how tech companies, Facebook, Google, Twitter, and the likes are really being attacked as platforms for these foreign nations to infiltrate. This is another data point in that storyline as well. The bottom line is that local officials at the election level, federal officials at the national level, and tech companies in the private sector are going to have to work together to craft these frameworks in order to thwart off these threats. Just within the last couple of weeks, we've seen how Facebook specifically has tried to remove accounts based off of this. This would argue that this is still a problem that has to be addressed.